Welcome, everyone, to the California Alarm Association Tribute Dinner. Tonight, we're going to honor the 18th George Weinstock Award winner. The George Weinstock Award is given as California's most distinguished and highest honor to an individual with a lifetime of achievement and service. Thank you, everyone. You may say, why George? George Weinstock, more than 4 decades leading 3 of the security industry's most prominent installation and monitoring companies. George was always highly active in the security industry issues, including president of both the National Burglar and Fire Alarm Association, now the Electronic Security Association, the Western Burglar and Fire Alarm Association, and the WBFAA. 25 years ago in this room, it was this room that the actual vendors set up their displays in. John Sargent was working with Nancy Pelosi's daughter to secure the room, and the number of people were so few with the exhibitors that it didn't quite fill this room. So in addition to the celebration of the George Weinstock Award, we're also recognizing the 25th anniversary of the California Alarm Association. It's crazy to think, but the folks on the list that I'm getting ready to read their name had the foresight and the determination to put together an association that has withstood 25 years. It began in 1992, it was a succession. But the folks that started in 1992 were William Ladd, Santa Clara BFAA, Rick Lyle, East Bay, John Sargent, Golden Gate. We're looking for another president too, John, for Golden Gate. Gary Edmonds, Mid-Cal, Ron Buzzard, SAC, Dan Piscar from San Diego, Bob Jennison, last year's award winner from Los Angeles, Craig Thomas, Jerry Adams from Greater Valley Alarm Association. Harvey, you were here 25 years ago. The past presidents that were represented were Roger Westfall, Bay Alarm, Richard Biunk from Comseco of California. Sorry if I butchered that name there, Richard. Rod Ufendel, Denelect Alarm. Nice to see you, Rod. Harold France from Honeywell, Bruce Westfall, Bay Alarm, Paul Worsley, Valley Burglar Fire Alarm, George Weinstock, American Home Security, Frank Mineras, William Swinney, Robert Leeper from Electro Security, Jerry Linder, and President Ted Willey. Also in the room to get things started was Les Gold as our legal counsel and Charles Swagger as our accountant. So let's give these guys a round of applause. And stand up if you're in the room, if you could. The foresight these guys had has kept us along the way and guided us our industry and brought us here tonight. Nice job, Jerry, and your office. This room's beautiful. It's filled with great security industry professionals, and we're really excited to have our award winner be celebrated tonight. It didn't just happen. We have great sponsors that have put their money up and their time and their efforts to make this all come together tonight. And as I call your name, please come down. We'd like to recognize you. Our bronze sponsors, Valley Alarm, DMP, UCC. Please start making your way down so you can receive your plaque. Qualsys, NAPCO, Bosch, IP Datatel, OpenEye, MS&K, SIA, USA Alarm Systems, Reitman Consulting, FLIR Electronics, and Security America. These are our bronze sponsors. Let's give them a round of applause. That's okay. Thank you. It's a good thing when we have a lot of sponsors to recognize, right?
Oh, I do like this cheese board. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you. Appreciate it, Mitch. Thank you very much. Our silver sponsors, our $5,000 sponsors. Please come down. NMC, Johnson Controls, Annexer, ADI, Rapid Response Monitoring, Triad, AV Nortec, WBFAA, All American Monitoring, and GMS. Come on down. Thank you, Kristen. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ron.
I got John back there waiting.
Okay.
We'll do it right after Honeywell.
Thank you. Thank you.
Come on, Miss Laura.
Okay, folks, these are our silver sponsors. Give them another round of applause. Thank you so much for your support. Careful getting off the stage here, too. I'd like to say thank you to our gold sponsors. Come on down, Altronics, Digital Watchdog, ISC, Alarm.com, and UTC Interlogic. Thank you, gold sponsors. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Couldn't do it without you. Thank you so much, Mary
Thank you
Beth.
so much. Thank you.
Couldn't do it without you. Thank you so much. Couldn't do it without you. Whoop. Thank you. Appreciate your support. Kurt, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Couldn't do it without you.
Thank you very much.
Folks, these are our gold sponsors. One more round of applause. Thank you very much. Our platinum sponsors at $10,000 each, we have two. We have Bay Alarm and Mid-Cal Alarm Association. Please come down for your plaque and your recognition. Thank you. Couldn't do it without you.
Oh. Well, we're on.
Sorry about that.
Oh, look at that.
Okay. Thank you, Mike.
Here, you can. Here, you.
Sure, buddy. Yeah. I'll get in on this one. Thank you very much, Platinum sponsors.
Yeah, I'll get it back to them.
All right. Thanks, Chuck.
One more to give out tonight, and that is our diamond sponsor, Honeywell. Thank you very much, Honeywell. That's a $25,000 contribution to our CAA. I'd like to call at this time to the podium Ron Lander for a presentation. Come on down, Ron.
Okay, John. Good evening. This afternoon we did some awards, and I made a mistake, and I forgot to give John Sargent. Thank you. Thank you. John Sargent, just when you thought he was gone, he's back again. And we have one final award on behalf of the WBFA for John Sargent for his many, many years as a contributor, originator, and problem solver for the WBFA. Come on up, John. This is the Red Apple Award.
Wow.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, thank you so much.
Thank you. Love you, man.
All right. You know, you heard earlier Chuck said, this very room we had our convention in 25 years ago and 24 years ago. We were here 2 years. We had the vendors all set up in here and all of what we had to do. Look at this, we can hardly get everybody in here tonight. So this is really awesome. And I appreciate this very much. But thank you all for coming here and your support.
Thank you, sponsors. Thank you, everyone, for being here. Enjoy your dinner. We'll be back. Welcome again, everyone. I want to thank you all for coming. As I said earlier, the highest award that we give at the California Alarm Association is the George A. Weinstock Award for Lifetime of Achievement and Service to our industry. For more than 25 years, he has provided volunteer leadership to our associations at the local and the state level. You can see from the tribute book and the PowerPoint display the breadth and depth of his contribution to his community, his business, and our industry. Mike, that picture on the back cover, that's, I don't know, that's Norman Rockwell stuff there. That's beautiful, isn't it? Wouldn't you say? You guys have all seen that. That's incredible. Mike, I ask you to come and sit up here at this stage with us, if you would, please. Mike Matson, Matson Alarm. You could get suntan in that light, couldn't you? I think so too. You get blamed for being on the golf course, so you better watch out.
I don't play golf.
Yeah.
More than 5 times a week.
Yeah. While we talk about volunteer time and resources, everyone still has to pay attention to their business and to their company. Our first speaker this evening is a good friend of the CAA and a good friend of Mike's. Please welcome Keith Baird of Honeywell.
Good evening, everyone. I'm going to just repeat some of what Chuck said. This is just a fabulous room, terrific turnout, well-deserved for Mike. He wants to take some of the credit for the fabulous weather we've had this week, and I'll give it to him. That's all right. And when Mike asked me to speak, he made me promise that I would keep this very brief so that everybody could enjoy themselves and, in his words, go out and party. So with that, Mike, I want to say congratulations.
No. That wasn't an encore.
That was it? Oh. So I certainly can't think of anybody more deserving. And it's been great this week to talk to people that obviously know that Mike and I go back a long way. And they've come up to me and said, geez, it's so great to see Mike get this award. As a matter of fact, I was talking to one of his good friends from Fresno, who maybe should remain nameless at the moment, Mike, who was telling me that same thing. And he said, you know, it's so nice to see Mike get an award for something that he actually deserves. Instead of all of those golf trophies that he gets, sandbagger. I'll let you figure out who that was, Mike. So I've had the pleasure of knowing Mike for well over 30 years. He was one of the first guys I met when I got into this industry. And I actually happened to be living out here at the time. And Ben Cornett, I know a lot of you know Ben. Ben and I paid a visit to Larry and Mike at their offices in Fresno. And a friendship soon ensued. And I can say that the friendship supersedes the business relationship that we've enjoyed over the years. He's one of a kind. And yes, I need to pull out my notes. I've never seen Mike in a bad mood. For any of you that know him, we all have bad days. But somehow Mike seems to be able to internalize it, and if you're with him, all is good. And I don't know how he does it. He treats people exceptionally well. You know, if I were to describe Mike, I would say kind, generous, and humble. I listened to John Hopper last night. We were together last night. And, oh, Lord, yeah. Who was that? And John proposed a toast to Mike last night, and it really resonated with me. And I'm paraphrasing it, but John's comments basically said, some people participate in organizations to feed their ego, others for personal gain. But Mike has done it out of the goodness of his heart. Someone told me I was going to get emotional. You know, he's done it for the betterment of the industry, for the CAA, and his community. For any of you that know Mike's family, Irene, Mike Jr., Candace, and Vanessa, you know that he's also a great family man, and that he is absolutely a reflection of his family. They're wonderful people. And speaking of him being humble, he told me yesterday, we were talking about things, and he said, you know what, Keith? I really wish someone else was up there, sitting up there getting that reward, or the award, excuse me. And again, I just think that tells you a lot about his character. I firmly believe that. And then there's that small part of me that believes he said it because he has to sit up here without a cocktail. So with that, Mike, I'm going to do what you asked me to do and keep it brief. I'm going to exit to the left here, and I just want to congratulate you on an award well-deserved. I can't think of it going to a better person than Mike Matson.
I don't know why everybody's giving you these golfing hard shots, you know what I mean? I don't know. Jim Familetti spent over 30 years as an executive in the department store and specialty retail industry, including serving as CEO of Liberty House Hawaii and Gottschalk's in Fresno, where he first met Mike. In 2011, Jim and his wife, Dwana, moved to the Central Coast of California, and Jim has since served as the Chief Operating Officer of Community Action Partnerships of San Luis Obispo County, a large nonprofit agency operating in 9 counties with over 80 locations, 1,200 employees. He has a long history of serving on community nonprofit boards, including United Way, Boy Scouts of America, the Fresno Zoo, the Homeless Foundation, and the Children's Hospital. When Jim and his family moved to Fresno, they moved into the house next door to Mike and Irene. From that time on, the two families began an endearing friendship. Jim and Mike became close, personal friends, continuing to increase their circle of friends through their business, charities, family parties, poker games, travel, and golf. Although Jim and Dwana now live on the Central Coast, the friends still enjoy and keep a close friendship that will last a lifetime. When Jim and his family moved to Fresno, they moved into the house next door to Mike and Irene. From that time on, the two families began an endearing friendship. Jim and Mike became close, personal friends, continuing to increase their circle of friends through their business, charities, family parties, poker games, travel, and golf. There's golf again, Mike. I don't know what's up there. Although Jim and Dwana now live on the Central Coast, the friends still enjoy and keep a close friendship that will last a lifetime. Jim is here to honor his close friend, Mike.
Thank you. It's a great time to be here and honoring Mike. Keith just reminded me, by the way, this is the 18th award recipient, which is very appropriate, as Keith mentioned, considering how many holes are there in golf? 19, yeah. Mike has spent a lot of time on that 19th hole, but we won't go there for now. Hey, before we start, there was something being said at cocktails between Mike, Larry, and I. I think it's a great comment to think about. So imagine tonight how many people in the state of California are going to go to bed feeling safe and secure because of the companies in this room. Pretty cool. I know we'll be putting our alarm. Oh, we're not home, though. Oh, our alarm works on our iPhone because Mike showed me how to do that. It is a pleasure to be here tonight to talk about Mike. I have known him for over 20 years now, since our family moved to Fresno, moving next door. I do think I have a rather unique situation, though, because I do know Mike as a friend, as a next-door neighbor, as the family guy, but also as a businessman. So I want to just touch briefly on all of those tonight. First, as a businessman, I've been a customer of Matson Alarm, and I've known Mike and Larry, and they've serviced 2 large regional companies I'm involved with. They started their business from the ground up, which is pretty amazing. Today, he and Larry have a very large and successful company. Part of that reason is because of Mike's uncanny ability to make everyone, no matter big or small as a customer, feel like they're the most important one. He's built personal relationships with so many of those customers over the years that their word of mouth is truly a powerful and convincing marketing tool for Matson Alarm. But most importantly, all through those years, Mike has never changed as a person. He works very hard. Even when he's golfing, he's working, I'm telling you now. And he's always responsive to customers. Again, I've been there on the golf course when he takes those phone calls, even to the dismay of other golfers he's playing with. And he somehow always finishes those calls and finds a way to go the extra mile for those customers. And I think that's part of the testament to Matson Alarm's success. As the family guy, well, we've had that experience very closely as well for those 20 years. Our families are very intertwined over that time. I almost feel like we're part of one big extended family. Mike and Irene are absolutely superb role models for their 3 children, but also for our 2 daughters during that time. You know, we've had a lot of experiences. Our little girls have played Barbies together so many times I can't even imagine. Dewan and I have actually acted as emergency chaperones at some of Vanessa's parties at the house. When Mike and Irene were out of town. I can say that now, not get her in trouble. And actually, our oldest children actually have gone to a prom together, so we've pretty much had a lot of experience. But we have shared a lot of joys and a lot of sorrows over that time. Mike, I think you should be very proud because you and Larry have built an incredible business, but at the same time, it's never detracted from you being the kind of dad and husband your family wanted and needed. And that, without a doubt, is a very extremely hard thing to balance in this day and age and over the years. By the way, I will tell you, if any of you are parents, this guy is the greatest person ever to go Halloweening with. He taught me how to carry a red cup and not know what's in it to everybody's house you were going to. Right? There's all different ways to get treats, you know. As a neighbor, I can tell you this is the guy you would only hope to ever live next door to, and I say that seriously. When we were trying to make a decision to move and decided to leave Fresno to go down to the Central Coast 6 years ago, one of the hardest parts of that decision was leaving Mike and Irene as our next door neighbors. Of course, they come and see us very often, and I will tell you honestly, they have their own room at our house, and they actually have monogrammed towels with M's on in that room. But of course, for those of you that know Mike, he wouldn't have it any other way. We don't really have a lot of time tonight, so I can't tell you all the stories I could tell, but some are very hilarious, some are heartwarming, and some may be for mature audiences only. I'll just say we have all heard what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas, and we've visited Vegas a few times, and we've had a lot of fun. I'll just say that. He does make the best cosmopolitan you'll ever have. A lot of people can speak to that. And if you ever needed someone to come over to your house at 3 o'clock in the morning in the darkness because you're out of town and your alarm goes off, here's the guy right here. Not only did he come over, but he brought the dog, Nacho, with him, who decided at 3 o'clock they wanted to go swimming in our swimming pool. So the good news is the house was safe, but Mike didn't get to go home real fast because he had to take care of Nacho. Finally, Mike as the friend. Wow. Mike, the pleasure's been all mine. I'm honored to be here tonight and be asked to speak to you as you receive this award. We've golfed together a lot. We've dined together. We've drank together a lot of times. We've traveled together. But most of all, we've had great times. We've laughed, and we've enjoyed being together. I will say there was a time when I did question his ability in the alarm system. We were in Tahoe at a bachelor party for my son-in-law, and Mike seemed to be having a good time, but at a certain point in time, we lost him. And it was quite some time until we could actually find him that evening, and I kind of wish we had, is there a GPS we can put on people, like an alarm? It would have been helpful for that night, but he did return, so we're okay. But in general, I just want to say he is, and Keith mentioned this, he is always there for you, no matter what, no matter when. It doesn't matter the need or the cost. Truly, you're right. When you're down, this guy is always feeling up. It's an unbelievable attitude to have, one I wish I could have more of myself. When you want to talk, he's got an ear and he's willing to listen. There's been so many great times, but again, we do want to be brief tonight, so I promised I would keep it short. I want to close by saying something I heard many times from my little Italian mother, and I may get emotional because when I talk about her, I do, so I'll try to keep it together. But basically, she used to always tell me this, and she said, in life, you will make many good acquaintances, but you'll know when you find a true friend. I consider myself lucky to have Mike as a true friend.
I didn't know I'd get so emotional over this, Mike. My word. Amen. My brother Rick and I know what it's like to work in a family business, to call mom and dad boss. Our industry seems to have a disproportionate number of multi-generational family-owned businesses, and that's the case with Mike. Please welcome his son, Michael Matson, Jr.
It's tough because how do you, I mean, this is my dad. Grown up 32 years with him, and to say he's my mentor is, it's not enough because, I mean, I aspire to be this man. And just with life, he's always been there for us and for me and my sisters. But when I say I aspire to be him, it's maybe a little more athletic. And obviously I'm taller and a little better looking. And my golf game is right about where he is, and I play about a quarter of the time. But, I mean, like I said, I aspire to be him because he's always been there for me through the thick and the thin, and even in those tough days, he makes my days better when I see him at work, and he's just the best. I mean, we've done so much together with the fishing trips and the Boy Scouts and motorcycle riding, and he's taught me so much. And one day, I mean, my wife is 3 weeks away from possibly having a baby. It could be. I mean, I can only hope to be half the father that he's been to us, and that means a lot. And so there's no better person deserving of this award than my dad. So thank you.
At this time, I would like to invite George Weinstock and the past recipients of the California Alarm Association George A. Weinstock Award to come forward for the presentation. Come on up on stage, guys. Hey, Alan. Yeah, careful. Yeah, not that true. Well, as you can see, the CAA has quite a legacy of service from men and women who've made a lifelong commitment to our industry and to the associations. Like to say anything? Would anyone like to say anything? Harvey, we're going to go right to you.
Whatever you got. I need a big introduction.
Okay. Were you the second recipient?
Second.
Harvey Eisenstadt, our second recipient, has a few words for us.
Where is Michael? There he is. We go back a few years, don't we? We go back a few years.
We do go back a long way.
Yeah, but I found out a few things about you from your lovely wife, and I decided to put it into poetry. So let's give it a shot. During our lifetime, there so often comes along an individual who is recognized as being so strong. This story begins one summer day in 1957. The Matson family received their 5th gift from heaven. Young Mike was delivered to Louise and Glenn. A future leader and philanthropist was not known then. Teenage Mike worked many jobs and set goals to take. The alarm industry called, and that was his choice to make. With brother Larry, they began in their parents' garage. Their success today is not a mirage. Mike's work ethics, fortitude, and Matson name catapulted their company to success and fame. Mike's personal life is as exciting and bold. With Irene by his side, it's a story to be told. For 34 years, they celebrate a partnership so strong. Though a bumpy start, there was no doubt it would prolong. Family values were high on his list of obligations. Time and activities with his children were essential destinations. Traveling, boating, and skiing were the order of the day. Although business kept calling, he always found time to play. An avid golfer with a 7 handicap achieved. No question that South 4 is to be believed. When leadership called, Mike stepped up to the plate. 20 years as president of Mid-Cal to this date. Record-breaking fundraising to meet law enforcement appeal. Just some of his accomplishments that rise to surreal. To Mike Matson, we say congratulations for standing tall. Your lifetime of achievements are recognized by all.
Thank you, Harvey. Mike, it is my distinct pleasure to honor you and your good work. Mike Matson, in recognition of your lifetime of achievement and service to the association and to our industry, with appreciation and gratitude from the members and the board of directors. Congratulations, Mike Matson. Look out well.
So I get to say a couple words. Well, I'll make it really short. Bart, thank you. Frank, thank you. Matt, let's see, Michael. Okay, the list is way too long to thank everybody here, but I do want to thank everybody for being here. And this award could have gone to many other people, and I am humbled that I get it. Thank you for doing that, because you could have given it to anybody. But on this note, I want to thank the California Alarm Association for all their work as one team, as a big team. Our industry is very strong, and this organization does a lot for everybody. Mid-Cal, Michael, thanks for helping me with all the tournament stuff and everything. We really have done a lot in the middle of nowhere, because Fresno, nobody knows where that's at. I remember one time Bill Hill, I said, why don't you and Karen come to Fresno? And Karen looked at me and said, why would I want to go to Fresno? So I quit asking her. But Fresno's a great place to be. When we did the golf tournament, we did it for a cause. And The first one that we did was because the police department, they had somebody break in and slice 40 tires at a cost of $700 per tire to the taxpayer. And I asked them, well, what about the camera system? We don't have one. What about the alarm system? We don't have one. And so I said, well, I'll donate a camera system. Well, they came back and said, well, we have 4 other locations. I was like, well, let me think about this. And so I came to the association, and I told them went on, and I asked them, will you guys support a golf tournament? Everybody said absolutely. So it's not me, it's everybody here. Swore I'd never do it again. Then the next year, my good friend Janelle Cumpy was running the Marjorie Mason Center, and we're at dinner, and she said, we just don't have any money. I need a fence, I need cameras, I need hacks. Oh, I'll get the money for you. Came back here again. Okay, guys, guess what? We need some help. And then when the firemen fell through the roof, very important causes. And, just in your community, you look around, you see the hurt, the pain, and you want to do something. So that's just what we did. Of course, I couldn't do any of this without the support of my brother, Larry. Larry, why don't you stand up? I want Larry to stand up for a second. Okay, it is a fact that there is somebody but me, besides me. No, but Larry is, he's the reason I can do this, because the reason that Matson Alarm's successful is because of Larry and myself as a team. There's really not too much left to say because I could go on all night. I have a whole list of stuff. I'm just getting ready to get to my list, but I'll take a minute. No, but I think I want to end it there. I want to thank everybody for being here, and I really do appreciate it. As Joe always tells me, cocktails, let's do it.
Just a quick note to say thank you to everyone for making this a great evening. Congratulations to the entire Matson family. One last time, congratulations, Mike Matson, you're a hero. This is your night. So that'll conclude tonight, but remember we have an 8:45 a.m. breakfast in the Crown Room at the top of the Tower building tomorrow. Thanks, everyone.